Morning. Welcome to the Rudra channel. Very excited to have a conversation with you guys. It's an amazing day, and I'm very excited to have a conversation on why Jupiter is the superhero. Why Jupiter is the superhero. That's essentially the conversation that we are going to have. And so before I forget, Rudra Exclusive, a space where I work with hyper and super achievers, people who are really looking to make it big, people who value themselves a lot, and people who really feel that they want to take it further and further with NADI and Vedic astrology. Join in. The flavors keep changing. So this month it's going to be Rudra Exclusive. Next month could be a 11-day program that we do something or the other. And the flavors will keep changing. As the awareness keeps coming in, it'll keep changing. It's not going to be a permanent thing. But like I said, Rudra Exclusive. Just for this month, join in for the hyper and super achievers. And let's take it further from there. All right, so let's get going as to why Jupiter is the superhero. So if you look at Indian tradition, and if you look at the Vedic tradition or the Nadi tradition, which is there, it's all about the mantra, and the mantra is the Devata. That's essentially how things work. Any mantra that you take, it's going to be the baseline for that mantra is Jupiter. Because if you just say mantra, it's Jupiter. So you would like to have a siddhi of the mantra, which means you realize the powers of that mantra, Jupiter. You would want to have the vak, is the words that really come through it. And as you chant in your mind, again, Jupiter. So essentially anything that you do with any aspect of, let's say, a sadhana or a practice or something that you keep perfecting is again Jupiter or Rudra. So the very baseline, the fundamental is Jupiter, Rudra, and that's the reason Jupiter is a superhero. So if you really want to do very well in life, if you really want to go big, if you really want to really go big, the first thing you need to do is go with Jupiter. Look at what nakshatra the Jupiter is in. It doesn't matter which nakshatra it is, any nakshatra. Like, look at your chart, look at what nakshatra the Jupiter is in, and chant the nakshatra Gayatri for that nakshatra for Jupiter. And that's it. That's a great way to start. Or you could look at the true exaltation point for Jupiter, which is Ardra Nakshatra. So Ardra Nakshatra becomes a true exaltation point for Jupiter. And when Ardra becomes a true exaltation point for Jupiter, so then you could even go with the Rudra Gayatri or anything to do with Rudra. So as you keep doing this, that becomes a great way for you to bring forth the powers of Jupiter. So I could just keep going. I could just keep going on and on and on about Jupiter, because I absolutely love Jupiter, the very superhero, the very foundation of how things are. It changes the game. It changes the game from looking at enemies and friends and any of this. So let's say the worst possible combination is having Jupiter and Capricorn in a space of Saturn. Why is that considered the worst combination? That's because there's a lot of work and there's a lot of labor, and there's just no realization of the fruits of labor. It just doesn't exist. The fruits of labor doesn't exist, and it's a warlike zone. It's a warlike zone where the fruits of your labor you're not going to realize the fruits of your labor, and you're going to be in a space where you're in constant conflict. You're constantly in a space of conflict. And when you are in a constant space of conflict, you don't bring your self-awareness and take that further. That's the story. How do you come out of it? So let's say Jupiter in Uttarashara Nakshatra, and that's essentially the debilitation point of Jupiter. So if you just keep calling yourself Abhijit, you just have to like say Abhijitam, Aparajitam. So you could even look at this two ways. Because the Yogatara of Aparajita, which is like an undefeatable Shakti that you have, is also in Uttarashara Nakshatra. So you bring that energy. So you look at Abhijitam, Aparajitam. So you bring these two aspects further and further. Or you just call yourself this, I am Aparajita, which is like you cannot be defeated. So you call yourself Abhijitam, Aparajitam. So when you keep having this, you keep having these two things, which is I am Abhijitam, I am Aparajitam, I am Abhijitam, I am Abhijitam, I am Aparajitam, or I am Aparajita. So you could have this more and more. So as you keep doing this, you become Abhijitam, which is a victory, an unchallengeable victory is what really comes through you. You become Aparajitam, which is you bring that Aparajita Shakti to you. And it doesn't matter what's the environment, whatever is the environment, however chaotic, however like an environment where you think you just cannot survive. Just saying these two things over and over again. I am Abhijitam, I am Aparajitam. So you keep going further and further into it, and you would notice that the placement of Jupiter in Capricorn becomes a blessing for you, and you turn things around. That's the power of superhero Jupiter, where you really turn things around by just using a few words over and over again. And those words become the way of living, and those words really shape who you are. None of that matters beyond that. That's the power of Jupiter. So try it if you have a debilitated Jupiter or a supposedly debilitated Jupiter in Capricorn. Try it. And if you have Jupiter in Ardra, oh wow. If you have Jupiter in Ardra, try it as well. Like really bring that Rudra energy. Bring forth the Rudra energy. Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Bring that forth, bring that power further and further, and really bring that through more and more. This really ensures that you bring forth the power of Jupiter and be the superhero that you are. So when you become the superhero, a lot of things become available. Money, your money reality and your money situation changes. Your body reality changes. Your mind reality changes. And you keep going further and further to it. So for this month, just for this month, it's going to be INDRASYARUDRA exclusive. Next month could be something else. But this month is all about the exclusive space. It's the exclusive space where I'm working exclusively with the hyper and super achievers. I really want to bring NADI and Vedic astrology to hyper and super achievers and ensure that we could make it as a lifestyle, where we really bring this forth and make this a lifestyle. So you just have another 3 hours. Once 3 hours is done, I don't see the payment from you guys. I know you're not serious about it. So then I remove you from the INDRASYARUDRA exclusive group. Make the payment, you come in and go with it. So it really shows that you're serious about it. You really want to take this further. And like I said, the flavor of the month keeps changing again and again. It's about awareness. It's about this massive awareness that you bring to this table. And then you really keep building on it and getting further and further. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys there. And I hope you get why Jupiter is a true superhero and why we really need to get to Jupiter first before we get to anybody else. So yeah, like I said, in terms of Jupiter and Sun. For extremely successful politicians, we're going to get further there. Jupiter and Venus, which is for ones who are the movie stars who really want to be rich and famous, we're going to get there. Ones who are going to go through body transformation, they really want to have a body transformation. Jupiter and Mars. And so there are different ways of doing this. So this is how I really want to get this through. So I'm excited to see who is on the journey with me and how we could take this further. So yeah, don't miss this opportunity to be with me. Let's take this further. The flavor of this month is Indrasyarudra Exclusive. And don't ever think anything's going to be permanent with me. Things are always going to be changing. Next month would be a different flavor altogether. But this was all about Indrasyarudra Exclusive. So get on board, join the bandwagon, and let's get going. So until then, see you around. Take care. Bye-bye.